Hey guys, and welcome back to Fortune Theory. So here we are again, the second episode of our second bulk recording. So 5 minutes ago we just did our endgame video, so that's where we're at with it. So we're on the kind of topic of superheroes now. So we thought it's pretty much been a bit recent. So we're going to talk about Justice League. I know not many of you will be happy about that. I'm not, to be honest. But
Ollie,
yeah,
it may not be happy about it.
whatever.
Massive Marvel fan.
Yeah.
So we know by now. We're gonna talk about both and like why Snyder done his cut. Because little fact, Snyder's never seen Joss Whedon's cut. So there's that. The original Justice League.
He's not seen the Justice League.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one. The original cut.
So you got the original one, which has now got the meme name of Justice League. Then you got the Zack Snyder cut, which is like everybody's preferred version.
It's just the Snyder cut.
And they did a version of it in noir as well, black and white.
Yeah.
That's
why not?
I don't want to say that's what that is, but yeah, it is, isn't it?
Noir is
basically.
Well, it doesn't. Noir doesn't literally mean black and white.
To me, that's what I thought it meant.
But it is what they label as a black and white cut of a film now. It's like Logan. Logan Noir is the black and white cut of it. Even though noir is a type of film, but
it's a French word, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, Justice League. That is for downing that drink. That's
blooper material.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just came from nowhere. The main point, I do want to sort of do like 75% Snyder Cut, 25% Justice League, as it's referred to now, meme wise. But I liked the Snyder Cut. I hadn't seen Justice League. So I kind of have no frame of reference for comparing it to it. I don't know if some certain scenes were there. Again, it's almost a bit like you and Tenet, because I hadn't seen the original. Well, kind of, not really. I'd just not seen the original cut. Had you seen the original Justice League?
Yeah, I've seen all. Weirdly, I've seen all of it. So
surprisingly
I know,
for non-DC
someone who's
fan.
not DC. Well, I was looking forward to Zack Snyder's one because I know how hyped that had been since the actual release. Because there was all that riffraff of like, oh, he's been sacked and now they've got to get Josh Whedon to do it, and he's like, he did like the original Avengers film. I'm surprised I didn't even know that, to be honest. Like, yeah,
what,
he did something like that.
I can't.
I want to say he did Age of Ultron, but look it up. Look it up.
Here we go. But I he might have done actually. But no, yeah, I do love. Where were you going with it just before that bit?
Yeah, like I watched it and I understood what everyone meant about like the whole. It's a bunch of bollocks. Literally, it's like because the story was rushed. There wasn't huge character development in areas that were particularly interesting, if at all. Yeah. Superman's resurrection was kind of worked, but like it felt like they were playing too much off Batman v Superman to make it work.
Right. Yeah.
They weren't doing anything original with it. It wasn't like an impossible scenario, and they did the same thing in the Snyder Cut anyway. So I'm guessing you wouldn't have done much different. Literally all Josh Whedon did was take the edit, take the fucking After Effects, and just make it his. That's literally all he did.
Well,
most of Zack Snyder's is the same, but it's a more fleshed out story, and you've got more characters in it, and more character costumes, designs, and all that sort of stuff in it. And it was just like, I think I was satisfied with the Snyder Cut. 3 hours of my life gone, but I was satisfied with it.
Yeah, close to 4
hours of my life gone. Yeah.
It's interesting because like the whole thing about what they were and weren't allowed to do, like Zack Snyder with his cut of it, like he was literally only told, I believe so, by like because it is in his interviews he goes on to say like he was originally, or at least the reporters from his interview said he was only allowed to edit, literally make his own version of what the original Joss Whedon's cut was. And yeah, he did like 75% reshoots in the end, and then just basically hired everyone again to go and do a bunch of reshoots, which is good because I have seen I've not seen the original Justice League. Sorry, I have no frame of reference for the apparently appalling but bad reference. I have no frame of reference here, but the comparisons I have seen in terms, at least, of the shots and like certain scenes.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the fact every time you say you've got no frame of reference, I always think you're going to say I've got no friends. I don't know why. Sorry, my attention span dies with films I'm not really into. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So it was he like literally he gave himself the opportunity to just go and direct and shoot like 75% of the, well, probably wasn't, I don't know how much of the film it was, but he was told by the studio, just re-edit this, maybe rescore it, and do some, like, add some more CGI, take some CGI away, like rescore it, whatever. And they ended up basically just making the film again from scratch, bar like a few scenes. I mean, one of my favorite from it that I've actually now seen the comparison. I've seen a few of the comparison videos of like the Joss Whedon version to now this one, and like Wonder Woman's opening for me in the Snyder Cut is just so much better because Snyder's dealt with the tone really well. I from what I've seen in like comparisons, again, it's not the entire, literally from like a 4-hour cut. I don't know how long the Joss Whedon version was. Maybe like
the Joss Whedon one was about the average like 2.5 hours that you'd expect.
3 hours.
And the Snyder one was like, as you say, almost like 4 hours.
4 hours, literally.
And the film noir version was like,
because he didn't want to cut it down at all.
The noir version was basically the same as the Snyder Cut, only it was all in black and white for some fucking reason. So apparently that
take all the colours away.
And then they just put it all out on DVD. So you got one DVD copy of the original. They'll have a fucking trilogy box set. So you'll have the Justice League, the the Snyder
Cut,
Cut,
they that Justice,
and the Schneider Noir, and the Noir version, which is a mix between both, but I don't think it is this one. I don't want to lie. I think it's just the Snyder Cut, but in black and white.
But what I love that I realised from watching the comparisons, it's my only frame of reference for it. Is I don't know why I did that. Is I think it's your joke. Is because of the tone. Snyder is really good. He's got his obviously he's got his own style, and every director has a style in some sense. And the tone that he brought in, not the tone he brought in a way, it's the tone he brought to Justice League, but in a way, it's basically just he took the existing material. Was told that he can only like do this much with it, just re-edit and rescore it, and in the end, he just basically almost completely remade it, bar like maybe like 25 to 50% of it. I don't know how much again, but he made like, for instance, like I was going about to fully explain, like the Wonder Woman scene, her introduction, and it's basically just a terrorist attack on, and it's kind of like a terrorist. It's more just
to me that's like something you'd expect from like that scene. That was a good scene because usually they make her scenes good, or at least like impactfully like intense.
Yeah.
But and I think that's what made her film that came out the same 2017. That made her film good. I'm not big on a sequel, but like those scenes always like make her films good. But it didn't. It didn't add justice to Justice League, shall we say. It felt like it was more appropriate for Batman.
And literally the rescore of that is what I was about to say, is if you look at the comparison, I'll put the comparison to that scene in chat. In chat? What am I on Discord? In the links below. I'm so used to being in a call, it's like I put the links in chat, don't worry.
Hi everyone who's on call with us watching.
How you doing?
Because that makes fucking sense, doesn't it?
But that went quick. But the rescore alone, just a change in score, adds such a better version, such a difference to like that scene alone, and having Wonder Woman's theme like as her introduction to like that film, and like seeing the comparison of like what Joss Whedon has for that like Wonder Woman. I'm mainly going by this Wonder Woman scene because it's like the biggest scene I remember from it. It's
the only scene I enjoyed from it, to be completely honest.
And it's what
apart from when they're all in the when they're in what's the name?
But they're in that final room basically.
No, where they resurrect Superman and then they all fight him. Right. And it's the same location from Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And they all like you'll find like I liked that. I kind of like that scene. I kind of dislike it at the same time because I felt like they were going too much on like loads of other. They like heard about loads of other films where characters going to be like fighting characters and things, and I think they were just like, oh, we've done it in like Batman v Superman. We still like this trend.
Yeah.
So let's keep this going. So we'll do it pointlessly here, and then we'll just cut straight back to it. I think that was like one of its biggest flaws. It was like it was too dependent on what everyone was already liking, rather than it being its own thing.
I just love the fact that
which is the whole which is the whole reason I don't like it, because even though DC came out before Marvel, it's like the films Marvel it's original for Marvel because Marvel's films were like first.
Yeah.
Minus the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. Like DC is like never gonna overdo it completely. They're gonna like just jump into what they think works, and it's only gonna work so well.
Yeah.
And that probably means not at all. But
but I love the fact, one of my main things I like about Snyder isn't, especially in Justice League, there's points where he doesn't hold back from just showing it. And like the Joss Whedon cut, like literally just seeing the example again, link in the description, is he like just not cutting off of a shot and showing what is actually happening. Whereas like Joss Whedon's version cuts back to like a reaction shot instead of showing the actual action take place in typically what is kind of a darker scene, especially like morally as well. So I'm glad he just shows it for what it is, and then again like the rescore helps so well. But that scene is just one of many that adds so well. But there's little intricate bits that Snyder was able to do that just really just elevate it a bit more. Again, just from the scenes I've seen in comparison, it's just showing the characters I don't want to say properly, but I guess the Justice League done that. But it's basically me doing this, isn't it? Because isn't his like.
I'm trying to think, like, because all I can like discuss is obviously from what I know, because I have seen the film a couple times, like.
Well, at least
the team was average. Like, I think they didn't overdo it with how many members there were. So obviously you got the Superman, you got Batman, you got Wonder Woman. You had Cyborgs, Flash, and Aquaman.
Cyborg was amazing.
Yeah. Cyborg was pretty good. I'm surprised they haven't like done a film about him, to be honest.
That would be a great film.
I mean, to be fair, like they got a few good charms on them. Like the Wonder Woman films. First one was my favourite, preferably. Even though it did feel like just a sex change Captain America first Avenger film. And then you've got Aquaman, which I feel like Marvel's going to do a Namor the Submariner, which is better than that. Oh, and just for some context, and this is something I can wake up for, I think Luke Evans might have just been cast as Namor the Submariner as of the moment of this video, but that might be changed.
As of 8th of June, yeah.
As of the 8th of June at like roughly around midday.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just give or take. So, yeah.
It's interesting. But I love the Snyder Cut. I love what he was able to bring to the table with just everything, just redoing the film, making his cut of it. It's not even the Snyder Cut. It's literally just Justice League redone, which isn't because
Justice League back to its roots, because that's obviously what it was. And I think his costume design, like Superman in his black suit, like in the comics when he gets resurrected.
Yeah.
That was pretty much on point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I even collected a bit of merchandise on that afterwards, because I was like, that actually,
really
not being a big Superman like fanboy or anything like that. Like, because to me, that's like, for me, anything DC is Batman and Nightwing. Everything else can go. Get fucked.
You said it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to do a Peter Kay where he's doing like the car show where he's just like, yeah, no fucking man, is it? Yeah, yeah.
And you're gonna bang that
again. Now on your bike. Why don't you take a run and jump?
People that have no
idea what we're doing. So basically, we're making a reference to Peter Kay's car share. So we're British, so yeah. So if you'll probably be shaking your heads, and you know what we're talking about, or you'll just be like, "What the hell are you on about? You pair of plonkers." Another reference you won't get.
But yeah, Snyder Cut's interesting because obviously, normally, just an alternate cut of something is literally just they go to the studio. They maybe rescore it at most. They just change around some scenes. They hire a new editor or hire the same editor, and just recut the film, and it's now that person's cut. You get like Blade Runner is the original Blade Runner is famous for Ridley Scott's director's cut, which is just a commentary. It just adds. Does it take away commentary? I can't remember which one. I know there's the theatrical cut and the director's cut. One of them adds a commentary, and then I think the one without it is better, personally. But yeah, it's with Snyder's one. It's just, you know, basically Justice League completely redone, and his version of it completely not even like a Snyder cut. It's a Snyder cut, but it's just redone.
I just thought about it, and it's always coming back to Wonder Woman and the Amazons. Like, she's not even there for this scene, but when Steppenwolf first appears, his whole outfit,
his redesign
he was
amazing.
He is much better.
I mean, it took me the comparisons to see it.
In the Snyder version, he is so much more fleshed out as a character. He's after the mother boxes, and he's arrived in what's the place?
I don't have a clue.
I can't remember what the place is called, but it's where Wonder Woman's people live, the Amazons, Amazonians.
Yeah.
Probably called the Amazon or whatever. Sorry for people that know and hate the fact that we don't. They have that massive fleshed out fight scene where they're trying to escape with the mother boxes on the horses, and then Steppenwolf's just going like fucking GTA mod rogue against them all with this fucking Halo blade where they jump in the air with it. Like literally, I did like that scene in the original, but I preferred it in Snyder Cut, even though it was longer, and you'd feel like, why is this taking for fucking ever?
He was able to draw out moments without them feeling too drawn out, which is pretty good as well. There were a couple that were like, oh, this is going on.
Come on, just
but again, he done chapters really well in this. He was able to make it like chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, which is really good.
Yeah.
Which basically allowed for intervals. And speaking of intervals, this isn't an interval. This is an interval of the bulk recording.
Yeah, pretty much at this point now. So yeah, so we've got
marks the ending of this episode.
Marks episode of the ending of episode 2 of our bulk recordings.
So,
but yeah,
it's been Justice League.
That's Justice League. I think the Joss Whedon version is on Netflix, I want to say. If not, maybe Now TV if you got any of those.
And then unfortunately, I believe Snyder Cut is only on HBO Max.
So it was on Now TV, Snyder Cut. I think the noir version of it's on Now TV still. But all of it's available on DVD and Blu-ray if you're still into that sort of thing. So yeah.
Links below on Amazon everywhere. And
until next time, guys, I'm Oliver, this is Patrick, and we are Fortune Theory. And we'll see you later.
See you guys.